Hello friends, in today's session I'll give you tips on how to crack a personal interview. Now, once you have cleared the first round, which is an aptitude test, wherein the companies would have seen how good, bad or ugly you are in terms of your analytical bent of mind and your quantitative aptitude and decision making skills. That is the first entry barrier. In case you have cracked that, then only you will be eligible to go for the second round, which can be a personality interview and followed by a technical interview or the vice versa. Fine. For cracking any personal interview, there's some kind of a homework that needs to be done. Then only you will be able to ace it through. Right? So the agenda behind the session is to first of all tell you that what is the purpose, what is the core purpose, why these companies or these institutes wherein you go for doing your higher studies probably grill you or take a personal interview as a tool. Fine? And what is being tested in a personal interview. So let's try to understand from an interviewer perspective, and that will help you to prepare accordingly for cracking any of these personal interviews. First and foremost, in any of these personal interviews, what they are going to test is your personality type. Now, the kind of personality that you should possess should be a very pleasant kind of a personality. You should come across as a very friendly person. You cannot be probably someone who will have a lot of attitude and you say that I am the only one who can drive the entire show and you don't believe in team skills. You may be the brilliant person in the entire team, but in case you do not possess team skills, probably your entry into any organization is going to be a very difficult task, because they want people who can gel well with the team of who are having some different mindsets, and then they can build the entire component or vertical as per the requirement of an organization. So you should come across as a very pleasant, friendly, amicable person, and then only probably your chances will enhance. Second important thing is they are looking for a person who's a confident person. Now this word confident in itself comprises of so many attributes. Confidence is not just one word, but there are so many components which makes you a confident person. Like for example, if I start jotting it down, the list can be endless. But to give you a brief list of what is it that will make you a confident person will be, first and foremost, your knowledge. You will be able to face any interview with a lot of confidence in case you have knowledge. Now this knowledge is not only restricted till your theoretical knowledge or knowledge of your subject, but there can be so many other things that you must be aware about. The knowledge can be, yes, it can be your subject knowledge. That goes without saying that you need to be good in your subject. It has to be knowledge of things that are happening in and around us. So general awareness. It has to be the knowledge of you as an individual. Now this is something which is very crucial. At times you are not very sure that what is it that you want to attain in a life. So you need to be very clear about where is it that you see yourself maybe 5 years, 10 years, 15 years down the line. So knowledge about your own attributes, your own strengths and weaknesses, and what is it that you want to do in your life is something that you should be clear about in case you want to face an interview with a lot of confidence. And it can be knowledge of your native place. It can be knowledge of about your family background. So basically this is what will come under knowledge. So in case you have knowledge about all these things that I am talking about, probably you will be able to face an interview with a lot of confidence. But knowledge alone will not take you through. So there are many other components which will play a vital role. So having said this, I am erasing it. So one component that I have written here is that will make you a confident person is knowledge. Second is your communication skills. In case you are knowledgeable, but you are not able to convey what is being asked to you at the time of an interview, it will be a very difficult task for another person to gauge whether you actually know the answer to that particular question or not. So probably you will have to have a good command on your language, as we are talking about IT companies or we are talking about corporate. So what is expected out of you is that you need to convey in English. So that is the reason why significance of soft skills plays a very vital role in this. So this is communication. Now, communication is not only about speaking. There are three important components of communication. It is about speaking, yes, which is called articulation. Then comes listening skills. And then comes your assimilation. So articulation is nothing but effective expression of thought. Are you able to convey what is going in your head in less words, in a brevity, in a very brief manner, or are you hunting behind the bush? You are building the entire story, but you are not coming to the point. So they don't want people who are not brief in their giving their answers. So you need to give your answer in not in a very lengthy manner, but the crux of the matter has to be there, whatever is being asked. Second important thing is of a communication skill is listening skills. Are you a good listener, or you are prompt enough to answer to whatever you are being asked, or even if the question is not even over, you are ready with your answer. So first, please try to listen to what is being asked, pause, and then articulate and then answer your questions rather than jumping the gun. Please don't jump the gun, because that will showcase that you don't have a very good listening skills. In case you don't have a good listening skills, that means you are not a good listener, and if in case you are not a good listener, that means you are not a good team player. So very important quality of a team player is listening skills, and that is being tested here. Third and another important thing which will make you which will fall under communication skill is your assimilation skills. Are you able to assimilate what is being discussed or what is being asked to you in less words, or are you again building long stories? So assimilation also plays a very vital role. So in case you have good communication, that means you are able to articulate well, you have good listening skills, and you can assimilate well, then probably you will again be able to face an interview with a lot of confidence. So please, mind you, you'll have to start working on all these areas. In case you want to have good articulation skills, I'll advise you to speak, communicate among your friends, among your well-wishers in this language, which is called English, as much as possible, and try to probably incorporate a couple of words, good vocabulary words, which will also help you to be more confident at the time of an interview. Fine. So this is second. Third is practice. What do I mean by practice? See, I'll give you a scenario. Let's say there's an individual who is going for an interview for the first time. So probably when you are facing an interview panel for the first time, probably you'll not be well aware about what are the kind of questions that you are going to encounter at the time of a PI. Vis-a-vis someone who has already taken a couple of interviews, mock interviews, and has done a lot of net practice, and has also worked upon the feedback that has been given to you at the time of an interview. So the idea is not only practice, but also to work upon the negatives that has been given to you, and then you start working on your negatives, so that subsequently when you are facing the next interview, you will be able to face it with a lot of confidence. Right? So imagine, so if I take an example of Sachin Tendulkar, he has been able to rule the entire cricket fraternity since last so many years. The reason being, he has done a lot of net practice. He knows that by the moment of a bowler, that where is the bowler going to ball the next ball. So that comes with practice. So in case you want to ace a personal interview, you will have to do a lot of practice also. So this is what is again important. And it goes without saying, do a lot of homework. You cannot say that you can crack an interview without going randomly and casually. Casual approach is not going to probably help you to crack any personal interview. So this is a very candid advice. Please start working upon all these areas that we are talking about. And then comes your body language, which will also incorporate your dressing skills, your dressing sense. Fine. So in case you are well dressed, so it's a very formal event, so you will have to go formally dressed. It's not that you are going in a jeans or a tee. That will not going to solve the purpose. It's a formal event, so you need to maintain the decorum of a personal interview, and that can only happen in case you are formally dressed. So that goes without saying. Your sitting posture, the way you are sitting, Your hand movements also plays a very vital role. That also makes you a confident person. And whether you are casually whether you have combed your hairs or not, all these things also talks a lot about your personality and gives you a lot of confidence at the time of a personal interview. So all these things will probably help you to face an interview in a very confident manner. So knowledge, as I told you, there were a few components in knowledge which you have to work upon. Communication skills, there are articulation, listening skills and assimilation, which will make this entire thing as communication skill. Practice, do a lot of mock interviews. So take as many mock interviews as possible. That's a very that is something that I would like to advise you. And more the interviews that you would have taken, you would have encountered different kind of questions that you can encounter in an interview, and start working on the feedback. And take these mock interviews from different panelists, because different panelists will be able to grill you in a different way altogether. Fine. So this is something which is important. Homework, as I've told you, and body language. So all these things will make you a confident person at the time of an interview. Then comes your goal and vision. Right. So you must be very clear about that. What is it that you want to do in your life? Whether this company wherein you are going to join will help you to achieve your long-term and your short-term goal, or it's only a stepping stone wherein you are going to park your vehicle for some time and then you are going to quit. That is not going to solve the purpose. You will have to probably, in too many words, tell them or make them confident that you are going to stick with them, and it's going to be a win-win situation for both the parties, for the company as well as for you as an individual, and that's the reason why you can be an asset for that organization. So that goal clarity is very important. In case you are going to, in case that IT companies come for campus hiring and you are in your 4th year and they ask you what is your long-term goal or where do you see yourself 5 years down the line, and you say that I want to have my own organization which will be dealing in garments segment. So in case you want to have your own organization and you want to become an entrepreneur which is dealing into garments, then probably IT firm is not the right kind of a firm for you to probably end up taking a job. In that case, you go do your higher management for somewhere and then start your own business or join a garment sector. Why the hell are you wasting your time and as well as the time of a interviewer? So your selection will deplete in case you're not very clear about your goal or vision in life. Okay? So that is something that you will have to work upon. Then comes your attitude. That is something which has already been covered in your personality. That again plays a very vital role. You cannot say that I know everything and I'm the boss. Or if I know everything, then I'm not bothered about what are the things that are happening in and around me. I'll only be focused to my job, and in case someone comes and asks me something, probably I'll have my own whims and fancies in terms of talking to them or interacting with them. That is not going to go a long way. The HR managers nowadays want people who can work under the same roof, people from different mindset, from different backgrounds, from different attitudes, to work under the same umbrella and take the project to a different level altogether. Only standalone personality is not going to give you long success in your life. Right? In that case, they'll ask you, you become an entrepreneur and do something on your own. Why are you joining our organizations? So they are very stringent about all these things. Then comes your aptitude. Do you have an aptitude and attitude to learn new technologies at a faster pace? Or you say that whatever I know at this point in time, I'm happy, I'm satisfied by it, and I am closed. So closed personality people are people which they are not at all looking at. So you need to have an aptitude to learn, enhance, improve, improvise, and take you to a different level altogether, because technical world is ever changing, very dynamic. In case you sit back and relax, probably you will be left behind and there is no looking back. Right? So my sincere advice to all of you who are preparing for personal interview is to start working on all these areas, and that will help you to definitely perform well in this section. Another important thing which I would like to advise you at this point in time is, in case you want to ace a personal interview, you need to have the capability to drive the interview. towards your own comfort zone. It's not that they'll ask you anything under the sun. They'll only ask you things which you would have discussed or which you would have talked about at the time of your introduction. So if you want to actually perform well, you need to somehow have this capability of driving the interview towards your own comfort zone. Once you have done that, let's say at the beginning of an interview they ask you, tell us something about yourself or introduce yourself, and you talk about probably things that you are comfortable in. That means you get extracurricular activities for that matter, in case you're not technically very sound, or in case probably your grades in your BTech or in your graduation has not been up to the mark. Then probably you can talk about it. Don't mention it at the beginning. You can mention about something more of in which you are more confident about, and then probably the other person, the interviewer, will be taking a clue from there and then start asking you questions on it. Rather than the very first question that they encounter after your introduction is something which grills you and that shatters your entire confidence. So that is not going to give them a very good impression. So my sincere advice would be that you need to acquire a capability of driving your interview towards your own comfort zone, and that can only happen in case during your introduction